Today is Thursday, the 1st of August, 2019. I'm Keith Warr, and welcome to another episode of Homeless in Titusville. And today I'm being joined by, what is your name, ma'am?
Deborah Hernandez.
And how old are you, Deborah?
48.
48 years old. And are you from Titusville? Did you grow up here?
No. I grew up in Missouri, and I was living in Polk County for the last 30 years, and I ended up here in Titusville.
Okay. What brought you to Titusville, of all places?
I became homeless in Polk County.
Yeah, tell me about how you became homeless. Tell me about that situation.
My son had called me and asked me to come and help him get on his feet because he was fixing to have a baby.
Okay.
I did. He got me a job where he worked. He has real bad, severe ADHD and bipolar. He got mad at me at the job, started cussing me out. I went to the manager wouldn't do anything because that was his baby's mother, or uncle, the uncle to the girlfriend.
Right, okay.
And so I was stunned that my son would do something like that. So I turned around and I walked out. Later that night, my son came home, he picked up his stuff, and he walked out. He told me I was on my own. He said some hurtful things when he walked out the door, that he would slice my throat, put me under the ground, all this. And that night I became homeless. And I've been homeless now for like a month, a little over a month.
Is this the first time you've ever been homeless in your life?
Yes, the first time ever. It's scary. It's not a fun thing.
Yeah, wow. You were telling me that then when that happened that somebody else reached out to you and said that they would help you, and they dropped you off at Chain of Lakes or something?
Yes, my sister had told me to come to Titusville, that she would be able to help me. And so I came to Titusville. She dropped me off at Chain of Lakes and told me she'd be back. She didn't come back for a couple of days. I got scared that night. I didn't want to stay in Chain of Lakes, parked by myself. I started walking out. Two guys jumped me. They took everything that I had. I kept walking. I didn't have anything. I go down the highway going towards Mims, and the same two guys that jumped me the first time turn around and jump me again. As they re-jumped me the second time, a car had been passing by. He went after them. He couldn't get them. So he came back and he got me. He offered me to his house, but I couldn't go there. So he said the only thing that he could do was take me to a safer place. And that's how I ended up in Rotary Park. And I've been here almost 2 weeks now.
And it is a safer place.
It's a lot safer from where I was.
From where you were, right. Yeah. It's not perfect by any means.
Well, we were told this morning by a police officer and by, I guess, the parkman, I call him the parkman, his boss, we are no longer allowed to sleep in the park. If we sleep in the park again, we'll go to jail.
Wow. Have you ever been arrested before?
I do have one arrest on me, and it was for driving on a suspended. And
how many years ago was that?
It was a while back. It's more than like 6-7 years.
Okay. So other than that, you've never had any run-ins with the law?
No.
This has got to be quite a different change of life, being on the street homeless. Bet you never thought this would be your situation, did you?
I never in my life thought that I would be in the street. I never thought my kids or my child would do something like this to put me in the street.
But he's got mental illness.
He's got mental illness, but I say if you're well enough to do things you're not supposed to do, and you know you're not supposed to be doing them, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel about my son. He was doing smoking, and they always tried to get me to smoke with them, and I wouldn't do it.
Marijuana, you're saying marijuana.
Yeah. And
so you don't do any drugs?
I don't do drugs.
Do you drink?
I don't drink.
Don't drink. And do you gamble?
I don't gamble.
So no bad habits?
None.
What kind of work have you always done over the course of your life?
Waitressing, bussing tables. I had my own company for like 10 years, landscaping. I had it with my husband before my husband was killed. We carried it. It was sod. We'd cut the sod, lay the sod in new homes. We worked for the county in Osceola County. I've always stayed with a job, never been without a job.
How did your husband lose his life? What happened there?
My husband was here in the United States, illegal. He wanted to go back to Mexico to see his family. Not knowing me that he was already married in Mexico, I had found out that he was married twice.
Oh my God.
And I wanted a divorce. He wasn't going to give me a divorce. So he went and got in some trouble with some guys. He started doing drugs and this and that, and he was spending more time with his friends and more times with the drugs, and that was making me mad because he had a family at home and he didn't want to take care of the family. So he asked me would I take him back to Mexico. I did, and I dropped him off. He tried to get us to stay over there. He treated me real bad because it was his country then. He said that he could do that. As soon as he went to work, I loaded me and my kids up, and we came back. And 2 months later, I got a call saying that he had been shot and killed by the drug cartel in bed. Yeah.
Wow. So you had to support yourself ever since. And like, was he the one that mainly handled the day-to-day operations with the sod? Like how come you didn't take over the business and kind of
I had the
flourish?
business because I didn't have I had the people when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
When my husband got into drugs real bad, he started bringing the drugs to work. The guys got into the drugs. I started losing people. Before I decided to let my name get bad, I let the company go. I didn't want a bad name,
Right.
so I let it go.
Wow, tough stuff.
Yeah.
So, who else is here or left in Central Florida or Florida area that would help you? Is there anybody?
I don't have nobody. My sister's the one that told me to come here. She came here and she took my stuff. She called me back and she cussed me out. I haven't seen her. She's got my stuff. I don't have anything. I don't know anybody from here.
Right.
Nothing.
Wow. So you're here at this park. You don't know anybody, and then you're under threat from the police, and the people that run the parks. Did you ask them where can I go? Tell me. I'm willing to comply with the law, right?
I asked them about shelters for women, if they have shelters for women. They said, and they looked at me and they told me no. The only shelter they have is for domestic women.
Domestic violence, right?
Domestic violence. So you're telling me that I have to be beat before you can do something for me? And she said, it's not my law. It's the way it was.
Isn't that disgusting?
It is. Because there's a lot of women out here, not just me, but there's a lot more that is out here in the streets, and it's not always got to do with drugs. It doesn't have to do with alcohol or violence, and we're not bad people.
Right. And there's a lot of people, you've had jobs over the course of your life, like waitressing and things, and those jobs don't pay a living wage. Those jobs do not pay a lot of money.
No.
And a lot of people who do those jobs and work 40, 50 hours a week find themselves homeless, even though they're working, because those jobs just don't pay a wage that you can survive on.
Yes.
So you weren't able to have a savings or anything for any kind of emergencies.
No. Nothing.
What about your physical health? Are you in good health? Do you have any issues?
To this day, I thank God for that. I don't have no issues. I don't.
So no blood pressure, no diabetes?
I haven't seen a doctor in 15 years.
Oh.
But I can tell when I'm getting down and out, but thank God I'm still in good condition.
And you were telling me you've seen some crazy things here at this park.
Yeah.
Some really off-the-wall stuff.
I seen the first night I was here, there was a stabbing almost. There's people that have sex in the wide open. And, kids can be coming in here and stuff like that. It's bad. It's not somewhere where a woman wants to be.
Right. Yeah, do you feel safe as a woman here? Have you been sexually assaulted? Have you been...
Here, no. I do have... There's a guy that I met doing a homeless man. He came one day. He offered me a job. he didn't want to help me in front of the other homeless guy because that guy was an alcoholic. And he felt if he gave me money or something in front of him, that the guy would try to take it from me. So he waited until he left, and he gave me $20. After not eating for 4 days, I went to McDonald's and I got something.
Oh my God. So you don't have any food stamps, you're not plugged in with any churches, nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Wow. How have you been surviving, and what have you been surviving on?
That same guy that gave me that $20, he comes once a week, and he gives this 3 days ago, he came here, and I thank God for him because he dropped off $40.
Oh, wow.
And he told me to get something to eat. He said, as soon as I find a place, that he would hire me in his company, which is a landscaping company. But I told him, I don't want to be here.
Right.
I just want to go.
Right, you want to go, and where can you go? Do you have an option?
I do. I have a cousin in Illinois. Her sister was just murdered not too long ago.
Okay.
And she offered me to come there.
And this is a good thing? Is this a solid offer? Because you've
Yes.
had other offers that fell through, like your son and your sister. So this offer here is a solid
Yes.
offer. Now, have you looked into possibly going back there and
I
like
have.
how much it costs and how you'd go, whether you go by truck, bus, or train, or plane?
Well, I checked into all that, and the train and the bus are really expensive. So I went to a plane, and there's been times on there that I catch tickets for 67, 87. But when you go to look at your pocket, and it's not there, and you know you're going to have to stay another night in this park, it hurts.
Oh my God. So you don't have any final check coming from anywhere? You have no resources coming?
Nothing.
And your sister, or your cousin rather, in Illinois, she doesn't have the money to send you? She doesn't have the ability?
She's on disability.
Okay.
She said that she would come and get me, but her car needs 4 tires.
Oh.
They're real bad. We tried to look for the closest airport to her, which would be East St. Louis, Missouri, or Tennessee. And I can't find an airport in Tennessee. And
So as little as $100 is the difference between you being here at this park and going there to be with your cousin?
yes.
Wow, so close yet so far away. How about stuff like right now while you're out here? Do you have any clothing?
I have no clothes. My sister has everything of mine. I don't have no shoes. The shoes that I have on right now, some lady gave me this morning.
Will your sister give you your items back, or?
Probably not. She's already moved from Mims to I don't know where.
Why would she do this to you?
She has, me and her husband didn't get along. And me and my sister for years didn't get along. And I explained a little bit earlier about what that was. And,
Right, I know, but the viewers don't know.
Right.
But you guys were both molested when you were kids. By your
yeah,
father.
from the age 3 and 5 all the way up. At 14, I had enough. I went to get out. I was hit by a dump truck. And I was put in the hospital. And my dad tried to rape me in the hospital. My aunt walked in and caught him and hit him. He did 1 night in jail. I tried to get my sister to come with me, and my sister wouldn't. She was too scared. She stayed. From that day on, she was repeatedly raped, sexually abused by my grandpa, my uncles, my father, everybody.
And you think she kind of holds like resentment, like it's your fault, or you could have taken some of that attention off of her and shared it with her by you being there? Is she?
I think she has a thing against me because I got out and she wanted out, but she was too scared to get out. And I think she holds that against me for a long time, and till this day I think she does. Her and her husband bought their own place. This is what hurts. They bought their own place, and they split up. He signed his part over to my sister. He left an open title. I told my sister, I said, now that he's not there, rent me a room. It's better you stay in the street, and I'm going to go give the place away. And that's what she did. She gave a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, just gave it away. and left her sister in the street.
Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. What size shoe do you wear? Like, what are some of your clothing sizes?
The shoes is 8.5. The jeans are 12. The shirts are extra large.
Okay. And so you don't have any more bras, underwear, that kind of stuff
Nothing.
either? Nothing at all. And just the few little toiletries that I brought you today.
That's it.
And the little food items. Wow. How about a phone? Like, do you have communications? Are you able to?
I have a phone, but it's ran off of Wi-Fi.
Okay.
That's another good thing about this park.
You're
Is
close to McDonald's to get the
close to me-
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And then my cousin, or my nephew, when I was talking with my sister, he put some kind of code in my phone. So now I can jump off of any cable or Spectrum Wi-Fi,
Oh, okay.
and I can get it.
Well, that's good. So, do you do Facebook? Do you do other social media?
I do Facebook. Facebook is the only one that I do.
Okay.
And I really don't, I use it, I go on there because I sneak onto my kids' profile just to see how they're doing.
How many children do you have?
5.
5.
I have one that's 30, 28, 26, 24, and one that is going into the Marines. She just turned 22.
Wow. That's great, going to the
Yeah.
Marines. Proud mama there.
Yeah, that I
For
am.
sure.
She's all the way in Austin, Texas.
And do the other children, do they know that you're homeless on the
Yeah.
street?
My oldest son, he physically hit me in my head and knocked me out because I told him he needed to grow up, leave the marijuana alone, leave the drugs alone, be a daddy. Ever since the baby came home from the hospital, I was the one that's been with the baby. I watched her day in, day out. And he got mad one day and he brought the baby to me and he told me to change the baby's diaper. And I told him he needed to do it because he was the father. He went to hit me. I went to grab my phone to call the police. When I did, he came down, he hit me, and that was it.
Unbelievable. Wow, your own children. That's disgusting. That's
I
horrible.
raised my kids to be yes ma'am, no ma'am. I didn't raise my kids to be like this. My kids never talked back. They were respectful kids. When they started in on that, the marijuana, all that was it. I lost it. They lost it.
Yeah. Change their personalities, change who they
Yep.
are. Wow. Oh my God.
So they say drugs don't change people. They say marijuana is not a drug. It's freely grown. But it does.
Yeah.
It does. I don't care who says it doesn't. It does.
Yeah. Yeah, and for some people it's a minor change, and for others it's a major change, like
Yeah.
you've seen in your children. Wow. Listen, you guys, if you guys would like to connect with her, I'm going to have her join the Homeless in Titusville Facebook page. If there's something you can do to help her, if you guys maybe have some clothing items, some shoes, there's got to be something we as a community can do so that this woman doesn't have to stay here in this park and exist like this, right? This isn't life, this is existing. This is a fellow human being. This is somebody here in Titusville who needs our help, and it seems that as little as $100 would get this woman home, back to her family. Maybe there's a way we can get together and organize something and get her a ticket and somebody else drive her to Sanford Airport or something. There's just got to be something we can do rather than to just let her sit and suffer here at Rotary Park. If any of your friends or family or anybody were to see this video, do you have any messages for them or anything you want them to know?
Just if you can help me. I've talked to my cousin. I think my cousin is connected with this. Her sister was murdered not too long ago, and it had to do with her kids. Her kids had it done. It's not easy being in a park.
No, it's not.
That's all I can say. It's not easy.
Not easy. All right, guys, you guys can friend me at KEITHWOHR. I accept all friend requests on Facebook. You can join the Homeless in Titusville Facebook page if you want to reach out, connect. Maybe you have a resource or would like to help directly. You guys have been great in the past and helped others, and I really appreciate you guys. Just want you to know that. And I guess until next time, may you be just as blessed as you have blessed others, and thanks for watching.